How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the 20 or so Republicans led by Matt Gaetz who stormed into the secret Schiff room where Adam Schiff was conducting the initial impeachment inquiry. Now, what he was doing specifically in the room was interviewing current and former State Department officials to see whether or not Trump engaged in any kind of quid pro quo with Ukraine as it relates to Joe Biden and the 2020 election. Now, there is a whole lot to quote unquote unpack here, as the cool kids would say. But first, check out this clip from Judge Napolitano, and he'll break down the rules of what happened here. After we get done with that, I'll talk about what he said specifically. I'll talk about what is the bigger picture here. I'll give you my 2 cents, my analysis, and then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Fox News senior judicial analyst and host of Liberty File on Fox Nation, the judge, Andrew Napolitano.
So let me tell you what I did for you, Kilmeade. I read the House rules.
Okay.
And as frustrating as it may be to have these hearings going on behind closed doors, the hearings over which Congressman Schiff is presiding, they are consistent with the rules.
They can make any rules they want.
Well, they can't change the rules. They follow the rules. And when were the rules written? Last in January of 2015. And who signed them? John Boehner. And who enacted them? A Republican majority. So
what do the rules say?
The rules say that this level of inquiry, this initial level of inquiry, can be done in secret. I want to watch it. I am dying to see if John Ratcliffe's cross-examination of Ambassador Taylor was as aggressive and successful as Republicans claim it is. John Ratcliffe is a former serious trial lawyer who knows how to cross-examine. We didn't get to see it. So what happened in the Nixon impeachment? My former boss, I was his page in the House of Representatives, Peter Rodino, instead of holding the hearings in secret, interviewed the witnesses in secret, not by the committee, but by the staff. Congressman Henry Hyde, same thing in the Clinton impeachment. Witnesses were interviewed in secret and then presented in public. Congressman Schiff, with a different set of rules, chooses to do the initial set of interviews in secret. Secret evidence doesn't work in this world. So eventually there will be a public presentation of this at which lawyers for the president can cross-examine these people and challenge them. This is like presenting a case to a grand jury, which is never done in public.
All right, so you heard that, you saw that. Now, first things first, I gotta say, yes, Judge Napolitano is correct. Adam Schiff is following the rules, and I've not seen anything to really dispute that fact, okay? The rules are being followed, and there were some Republicans in the actual room, but that's not even the real issue. The problem is that you're having an impeachment inquiry and the public can't see what's going on. There's no transparency. You don't have all Republicans that are privy to the information. It's only a select few. It's not everybody, and it's just kind of a thing that should be held in public regardless of what the rules say. Now, some would tell me, hey, ABL, how are you going to say the rules don't matter? I'm not saying the rules don't matter per se, but let's look at what's been going on over the past few years in this presidency and even beforehand. Rules don't always matter, and sometimes it's better to not necessarily follow the exact guidelines. Let's talk about what Donald Trump has done in the past year or 6 months. The whole thing right now, which is what the impeachment is based on, Ukraine. Democrats in the media, which is basically the same thing, they said that Trump engaged in some quid pro quo with Ukraine from the quote-unquote whistleblower on a phone call. Now, Trump released the entire transcript of the phone call. Where's the rule that says he must do that? I've not seen the rule. If you can find the rule that says Trump must release the entire phone call with no redactions or anything like that, you let me know in the comments. But he did not have to do that. There's a rule that says that he must do that, but he did it anyway, okay? In the name of what? Transparency. So you know that nothing is wrong. Everything's on the up and up. There's no mandate saying that he must do it, but he did it regardless. Okay, and you can't say, well, the Democrats weren't really trying to force. What happened to this whole thing about, oh, he moved it to a private server? What did he have to hide? This, that, and the third. There's no rule stating that he must release it or that he can't put it on a private server, but he put it out to the public anyway. So, I mean, rules, what rules? And then also about the whole situation with the Mueller report. Where is the rule that says that Trump must release the entire thing to the public? I don't see any rules there. There were some redactions and some things that had been released. If not the Mueller report, it was some other documents that had been released by the administration. And the Democrats were really upset. Oh, you can't redact these things. You got to put it out to the public. Wait a minute. The rules do state that you must redact certain things in these government documents because you cannot reveal personal information, like names, addresses, social security number, phone number, and also methods in which you were able to obtain certain information. The rules do state that, but the Democrats don't really care about that. The left does not care about that. But now all of a sudden the rules matter. Very interesting. And also the whole thing about Trump's tax returns. Where is the rule that says that Trump must release his tax returns? I've not seen that. If you know anything about that rule, you let me know in the comments below. I'd love to see it. Send me a PDF link or something that has that rule in writing that says the president must release their tax returns. I've not seen that, but I digress. There's no rule from what I've been able to see that says that. However, there was a law drafted, I think in California, Colorado, somewhere close to the left coast, that said that if Trump did not put out the tax returns, he would not be allowed on the ballot for the 2020 election. Okay, so, I mean, we're going to talk about rules in this particular case. The rules don't seem to matter when it comes to the left. They're skirt the rules, all kind of stuff. James Comey was not allowed to release the documents, the memos he had with Trump to the media, which sparked the whole Russia collusion kerfuffle nothing burger. But he did it anyway through a kind of just skirting the law. He didn't do it himself, but he gave it to his friend. Okay, you worry about the rules, but you don't really worry about the intent that the rules were set there for. The intent is to prevent a James Comey from leaking documents to the media, because you're in the government, you can't be putting out this kind of sensitive information. But he did it regardless through a friend of his. You're trying to skirt the rules. You know, you're trying to play games. You're just a snake in the grass. It's a lot of people that do that all in Washington, D.C. The rules, they'll just outright break them, or they'll try to get around them in a sneaky kind of way. So the rules, quite frankly, don't matter here. They'll just rely on them in this particular case and say, well, yeah, I can do it in private, whoop-de-whoop. You know, I want to see what they do when or if the impeachment process goes forward. I don't think that it will, quite frankly, but I do believe that right now transparency is needed. Everybody knows this is a witch hunt. It won't really go anywhere. I think Republicans made a point. It was more symbolic than anything, in my humble opinion. And it was a good point that was made. Let's have transparency. And if you don't want to have transparency, then don't ask us for it. Let's, do some legitimate quid pro quo. If you want transparency that is beyond the call of duty, you give us the same thing in return. Let's work together rather than you just doing whatever you want to do and we have to be held to a different standard than you are. Like I've said many times before on this particular channel, without double standards, the left and the media, which are the same thing, would have no standards. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that the rules are all that matter in this case and there's no real need for any kind of transparency? There's no need to just look past that the same way the left look past it when it benefits them? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. Personally, if rules are to be followed, let's respect the rules all the time. Let's not try to put pressure on people to break the rules from the media and the left. Let's not try to skirt the rules like James Comey, many others have done. Let's not do that. Let's have everybody be straight-laced above the board and have that be that. No more double standards. It's enough. Enough is enough. We're tired of it. And I think the American people are starting to realize that, which is why they want transparency in this whole situation. Okay, you're feeling like there's a coup going on. It's really important. It's a pivotal moment in history. Maybe, just maybe, the American people should know what's going on, and all of the Republican colleagues on Capitol Hill should know as well, not just a select few. But whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.